if an ape can do it, why can't we? Can you imagine that an ape species did a very important thing in their development that we still can't do? They got rid of bullying. You probably had experience with bullying. Maybe you were bullied or were a bully, or maybe your friends, siblings, kids, someone in your life has encountered bullying at some point. In fact, every day, 160,000 kids across our country skip school because they're afraid of bullying. Almost 20% of elementary school students are bullied, and 40% of teenagers in a number of countries around the world have been involved in bullying, whether as the victim, bystander, or bully. So why is something so dangerous so widely accepted among children and youth? Many grown-ups may think it's not a big deal. Kids will be kids, stuff like this always happens. Or it's normal, so what? Normal. Normal. What is normal? Is it normal for an 8-year-old to not be able to eat or sleep knowing that she's being called lame, ugly, and stupid online? Is it normal for a 12-year-old to start failing his classes because he can't bear the thought of walking into school and feeling like he's nothing? Is it normal for a 15-year-old to even think about ending her own life because she's scared and lonely? She's filled with pain. No one understands. Suicide is the second leading cause of death among youth, and over 50% of these suicides are because of bullying. I must say that in modern times, the issue of bullying has, thankfully, been taken more seriously than it was hundreds of years ago. In the 19th century, bullying was considered a simple misadventure, a mishap. In fact, around 1885, an incident occurred at a UK male boarding school involving bullying, which resulted in the death of one of the students. Those who investigated the incident stated that behaviors such as bullying were standard and acceptable for a schoolboy to experience. No punishment was delivered. Even though this would probably not be the case nowadays, we still have a long ways to go. It is crucial for us to take a long, serious look at bullying and see that we truly have the power to change it, not just by medicating its symptoms, but by really digging into its core. Now, raise your hand if you've ever asked yourself, is a society without bullying even possible? I know I have. I've wondered, is bullying really the useful evolutionary strategy it has been called? Is it truly innate? Could it be normal for us as humans to do? Evolutionary anthropologists have looked at chimpanzees for over 100 years to explain human behavior. This may seem logical, as chimpanzees are one of our closest living relatives, but there is a problem. Chimpanzees are very violent and aggressive. Chimp males bully weaker chimps and attack females to get what they want. Their society is built on competition, dominance, and hostility. Throughout time, a parallel has been drawn to human behavior, and bullying has been considered and excused as the norm. It's what I heard at school, in the media, from my friends. To this day, we have looked at chimpanzees to explain and justify our negative actions as an evolutionary need. Perhaps it is time we take a look at a different ape species, a species that has been forgotten by science for a really long time. It has even been called the forgotten species. This species is the bonobo apes. Bonobo apes have no bullying. And genetically, they're the closest to humans, sharing 99% of the genome. Maybe bullying was a successful evolutionary strategy in the world of chimpanzees, which relied on the survival of the fittest. But as the bonobos diverged from chimpanzees and left the law of the jungle behind them, they were able to form a society where bullying no longer existed. So why haven't we, in our advanced society that has clearly moved away from its caveman stage? Although it can be said that humans are slightly more attractive than bonobos, as evident in this picture that I drew, there are important things that we can learn from them. Bullying may not be as innate as we may think. So, what makes bonobos so special? For one, they're called the apes of friendship, and it's for good reason. If a bonobo is ever feeling stressed or is in a conflict with another, they will simply hug to make things better. Bonobos are also incredibly altruistic. They are willing to sacrifice their food for the benefit of friends, family, and even strangers. For example, a study was conducted in which two bonobos who did not know each other were placed in two separate rooms separated by a fence. If one bonobo in one room climbed the fence, it would cause a piece of fruit to fall into the room of the second bonobo. What do you think this first bonobo did? He climbed the fence. That is something a chimpanzee would never do. A chimp would fight to get as many resources for itself as possible. What would you do if it gave someone else, let's say, a beer or chocolate and not you? That's for you to think about. Bonobos also have a strong sense of community. There is a lot of mutual help within each bonobo group, and the bonds and solidarity between females are particularly important. The friendships female bonobos can form are incredibly strong, which is rare among mammals. If a bonobo ever receives any unwanted male attention or aggression, her friends will be there to help. Female bonobos often even form coalitions to make sure there's polite behavior happening and safety is ensured. To compare, chimpanzee societies are strictly patriarchal, and females will frequently be subjected to bullying by males without any negative consequences for said males. Bonobos thwart primate patriarchal traditions by including females in leadership roles. We've realized we might need to work on that more, but bonobos have been doing this for a really long time. As I said before, females are in charge of combating violent behaviors and making sure there's order in the group. Plus, in bonobo communities, elders in general are very respected, and the oldest females will have the highest status. Additionally, bonobos have high societal tolerance. Bonobos love food, so researchers frequently use food as a measurement. And unlike chimps, who only help those they know, bonobos share their food with apes outside of their social circles. To them, in-group or out-group, different or the same, just doesn't matter that much. Sometimes they might even do this on purpose to broaden their friend group. Bonobos are actually known to offer banana bribes for the sake of making friends. Think about that. All of the things that I've described show, and I'll say this again, that if even the bonobo apes can do it, we can definitely create a kinder and bullying-free future. Each of us here today, in the audience, behind the stage, on the other side of the screen, we can truly create a society where bullying does not exist anymore. Let us look to the bonobos as an example, their society and dynamics as demonstration of what we ourselves do and do not have, and what we can still change. We need to stop looking at chimpanzees and making excuses. It is time to look to bonobos and create change. Thank you.